You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Wednesday the 4th of June 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm actually recording this as part of a Twitch live stream as well. So occasionally if somebody puts a comment in the comments and I refer to it, it's not me being weird, well no weirder than normal. So I've had a really good day today. I've just signed off chapters 22 and 23 of Empress of the Trees, leaving me exactly 20 chapters left to sign off. It was supposed to be about 16 chapters and an epilogue, or 17 chapters and an epilogue, but the bit after the disaster became a little larger. I think I didn't have enough good resolution for the characters, but anyway, so that's really, really good. I mean, it's the 4th of June today, and I've signed off 3 chapters out of the 10 I want to sign off by the end of the month, which leaves me, how many is that, 26 days to do the other 7. I probably won't get any done tomorrow, might get some done. I'm working a lot over the next 4 days, so this is where it will slow down. But the other thing I've done today, which I really enjoyed, was I went to so in my local bookshop, which I've talked about a lot because I really like it. They've been running in the past book clubs. Well, they've also done a writers club. Now it was the 3rd one tonight that they've done. They do it every month. However, because of work, it's the first one I've been able to attend. Somebody just put in the comments, went to a proper writers group. Well, it was structured. It was less social. It was it wasn't like, it was like they used to be when Victoria ran it, and that's no disrespect to the person who's running it now, but that felt a little more structured. So basically we introduced ourselves, talked about how easy we find it to start projects, and I'll be honest, I don't find it that difficult. And then we had to do an exercise, basically, just to see what it was like to start a project with very little information. So the guy running it had written out a load of prompt cards, and basically you had to pick a prompt card randomly out of the pack, and then you had 20 minutes to write something that responded to that prompt card. So I'm going to read you, bearing in mind what I'm about to read you, I wrote in 20 minutes. I'm quite pleased with it. So I'm not going to tell you the title of the story or what was on the prompt card because it's a bit of a spoiler, but I shall read this to you. And bear in mind I wrote this in 20 minutes, having seen the prompt about 30 seconds before I started writing. And it's written in the present tense and from the first person, which is very unusual for me. Anyway, so I'm awake. My head is pounding and I'm not sure that I want to open my eyes. I know that I had a lot to drink last night and the memories seem to stop after the 4th or maybe 5th round of shots. I feel my heart rate accelerate in my chest and I'm not sure what is causing it. I cautiously open my eyes. I'm alone, thankfully. The room is a mess, clothes and books all over the floor. The dressing table is covered with half-empty coffee cups and a random pile of DVDs. It looks like a whirlwind has run through the place, scattering everything everywhere, so perfectly normal for me. On the nightstand, my phone has been dumped among the rest of the detritus. I lean across and flick the screen, but it is lifeless. Swearing under my breath, I lean down and find the cable, which I jam into the end of the phone. It seems to take forever to start up, but when it does, what feels like hundreds of notifications pop up. The time is 9:30 in the morning. Luckily, I'm not working today. I groan and jump to the message screen. Sal wanting to know if I got home okay. Nathan wanting to know if I had gone home with Sal. A few other messages that make me smile and shake my head. There are going to be some stories later that I guess I'm not going to want to hear. And there is a message from someone that is not in my address book. I flick it open and there are 4 words on the screen. Do not trust me. No capital letters. No punctuation. Odd. I climb out of bed and drag a dressing gown over my pyjamas, which makes me stop for a moment. They are mine all right, but I never wear them. I put it out of my mind. I drag myself down the stairs. There is a pile of post on the doormat, so I pick them up as I wander into the kitchen. A bill, a credit card statement, and a plain envelope with just "The Occupier" written on it. Curious, I open it up. There is a plain piece of paper in there with 4 words written on it. the same as the text message with no punctuation or capital letters. So whoever sent me the messages knows my phone number and where I live. It's strange, and I think about last night as if there are any clues lurking there, but there are none. I open the fridge. There is the birthday cake that they bought me when we had pre-drinks. I smile, but then notice that something is different. I remove the cake from the shelf and place it on the counter next to the kettle. The words, "Happy Birthday," that had been iced onto the top are no longer there, and the same 4 words are etched onto it, although most of the word "me" is missing from where we ate the cake. I shake my head and feel a little sick. Then I realise that Pebbles hasn't said hello to me. I lean down to the cat flap to check that it hasn't jammed. It hasn't. There is something strange on the other side, a redness that I'm not expecting to see on the concrete slab. I open the door, and there is my cat. She is lifeless on the ground, a single slit to her throat, and someone has written those words again in her blood. The smell makes me heave, and I dash into the kitchen and vomit into the sink. I can feel a panic attack coming on. Usually for me, the best way to deal with this is to have a cold shower. I leap back up the stairs and into the bathroom, where... Just reading my handwriting. Well, not handwriting. Usually for me, the best way to deal with this is to have a cold shower. I leap back up the stairs and into the bathroom, where I'm about to rip off my pyjamas, where I notice there is a red stain near my stomach. I tear the item off and look into the mirror. The same words, "Do not trust me," have been tattooed into my stomach, in reverse, because I can read it perfectly in the mirror. I scream and lean over the toilet bowl and empty my stomach. There we go, so nice and cheerful. So the prompt was your lead character wakes up with a tattoo saying "Do not trust me." And that was the prompt. And I thought, well, it's got to happen at some point in the story. It doesn't have to be literally the opening line. So in fact, I kind of almost use it as a cliffhanger to that. But yeah, so I enjoyed writing that. I wrote that in 20 minutes. And as I say, I really struggle with the tense I write in. But then weirdly, I've got a story in mind well down the line, because I've got lots of other things to write before then, about these kind of gods that come into our world on the specific moon that's associated with them. So there's every moon of the 13 moons in the year have a name. So there's Hunter Moon and Blue Moon and Harvest Moon and stuff like that. And Hunter Moon, one of these characters, these gods can only enter the world when that moon is in the sky, and they get their kicks out of killing people and stuff. And I'm suddenly thinking what I've just written today could fit into that, because I had an idea that I wanted to do something different with that. I wanted to write it first person and from the point of view of one of the mortals that this god attaches itself to. So yeah. Anyway. So I enjoyed doing that exercise. I've signed off 2 more chapters. Haven't done any of the ancillary stuff, which I really need. I need to target myself with a particular time and date to do that, but I haven't yet. Anyway, I've overrun a little bit because I've read you that. That took a little while to read, didn't it? Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Will I be back tomorrow? Probably no. I'm going to have tomorrow off because all I'm going to be doing is working. But I'll be back on Friday, I think. That makes sense to me. So thank you for listening. I won't be here tomorrow. I'll talk to you again on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.